Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today in this video we shall talk about the causes of failure in War of Independence 1857. We know that in last lecture we saw that many leaders tried to put a good fight to Britishers and they wanted to get rid of British rule from India, but they could not get that support and the whole India was not involved. But in this video we shall only talk about the causes of failure. One by one we shall unfold these points so that you can understand what was the causes. So first point is lack of leadership and unity among them. Although there were some leaders capable like Nana Singh, Nana Sahib, Tantia Topi and Rani Lakshmi Bai, Maulvi Ahmadullah, and they put a very good fight and they tried their level best to get rid of British rule. But there was a serious lack of a national leadership, a leadership that could bring this whole allegiance on one forum, and a leadership that could get the support of all the facets of the society, and that the leadership who could get popularity from the common man of India for this war, because there was no national leader at that time who could lead this revolt, this disorganized and very poorly organized and disorganized kind of revolt. So this was a dimensionless war put up by the Indian leaders in bits and pieces. One big show could not be made, and that is the reason why that they failed. How it happened, let's see. If you see at the leaders of the revolt, we shall see that the revolt started actively from Mangal Pandey, who was only a spy in the British army, and his cause of firing at his European officers was pretty religious, that he was annoyed by the cartridge which was greased by cow, and cow is sacred to Hindus. So if we look at the second leader, I must say the biggest leader at the time was Badr Shah Zafar, who was the king at that time, and he could not concentrate all these leaders and all the efforts of these Indians who were willing for the rebellion on a one point. He was not that much capable and his motive was to restore Mughal Empire only. He was only interested in restoration of Mughal Empire, and he wanted that his princes will rule India after the War of Independence. His motive was restoration of Mughal Empire. And if we see at Oudh, Birjis Qadar and Hazrat Mal, they were fighting for their lost glory in Oudh state, and they were from the Nawab family of Oudh. And if you see Nana Sahib and his leaders like Azimullah and Tantia Topi, they were fighting on one cause, that Nana Sahib wanted to be the Peshwa of the Indian subcontinent. And what was happening, that even it is said that Nana Sahib also had offered that if the steps of Lord Dalhousie are reversed, he will withdraw from the War of Independence. This was the spirit, and this was the level of nationalism which was there, that everybody was fighting for his own interest. They were participating on account of their selfish interest and were unable to combine effectively for the execution of a common plan. For War of Independence, it was necessary that there should have been some simultaneous rising जो एक ही दिन पे होती on a fixed day under one single leadership. You see there are many leaders, but there is no joint, there is no connection between them, there is no coordination between them. Everyone is revolting at his own, like a auto bombardment, or auto something is going on, auto explosion. The whole episode of Mutiny was like auto explosion of many leaders at different parts of India, singly and independently. one was disconnected from other. Therefore, it was very easy for some Britishers to crush them. And if we see Rani of Jhansi was fighting for the state of Jhansi, for our adopted son, that he may rule at Jhansi. So when you see this, you see that they were fighting for their interests, their own personal vendetta in this war. And so the level of nationalism, Indian nationalism, was missing to some extent in these leaders, and these leaders were not of national level who could gather some support from people and from abroad. This major factor was missing in these leaders. Whereas if we see on the other hand, you see leaders like Lord Canning, who was handling the whole situation very well, and he was doing some reconciliation with the peoples and he was pacifying the anger and aggression of the people against Britishers, and he was giving many facilities to zamindars and other states, princes of different states, so that they might not get into the revolt. Now he was very successful in this, that he withheld other princes from participating in the revolt. This was on the political front, and if you see on the military front, military officers like General Havelock, Henry Lawrence, General O'Lean, Jack Nicholson, and Colin Campbell, even Outram, they were fierce military officers, and they brutally killed and crushed the rebellion everywhere, because they were professionally very strong. They were very well equipped with modern weapons of that time. On the other hand, the rebellions were missing these factors, and they lacked that level of professional and military leadership and equipment as well. We shall talk about that later. But now the point is that lack of leadership, we saw how they lack, and lack of unity. We see that all these leaders of British crown, they fought for the glory of Queen. They were loyal to the Queen, and they fought for British. Whereas on the other hand, the Indian rebellion leaders were fighting for their personal vendetta. That's why they lost it. One of the factors was this. The second factor is means of transportation and sea routes. This is administrative factor. All the sources of transportation and sea routes were under the control of British. British had developed a system of railways in India in 1853, and if you see this map, it is the map of 1853 Indian Railways under the age of Lord Dalhousie. And if you see these red lines, these lines are showing the railway lines in India at that time. So you can clearly see these two lines. These are railway lines. You see that these ports, seaports, are well connected to major cities of India. So when the war started and the rebellions got some hold in some areas, these railway lines were very effective in maintaining supply chains to the troops of the British. तो इसकी वजह से बहुत आसान था ब्रिटिश की गवर्नमेंट के लिए और ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी के लिए कि अपने तमाम लोगों को हर जगह पे सप्लाई पहुंचा सके. Similarly, there was a network of roads and telegraph, post office, everything was under the control of Britishers, whereas the rebellions were unaware of these things. They did not even bother to even harm some railway station or some railway lines, or to block some roads or block some post offices or telegraph service. They could not do this, and they were missing this. So British leaders were well aware what was happening in which part of the war, and they were well aware when and where to do what. They were very much aware, and they were well informed of each other, and therefore they were dispatching some units of troops to one part to other, and they are shifting their military from one part to other in India for crushing the rebellion as per the need of the time. Whereas on the other hand, you see rebellions were exploding one after other in different parts of India on their own, without any planning, without any organization, without any coordination, without any kind of plan. They were going in dimensionless effort. Dimensionless, the effort was purely dimensionless. Therefore, they lost it. The third point is that the revolt was localized. That the war of independence could not become the war of Indian independence. It was only centralized to one part of India, that was Central India, and that too in some cities only. So the war was very much limited to only one part of India, and the rest of the portion of the India and the other princely states were totally alienated and aloof from this war. You can see in this map, ignore this India-Pakistan borderline. The war was happening only in Central India. You see, other portions were totally unaware what was happening. You see, in Kashmir, Kashmir was was aiding India. Punjab, Sindh, Southern India, Eastern India, they all were with British. Even Nepal was with British. They were supporting British in this war. So these people were almost like encircled by British from everywhere. So this was the major reason that the war could not spread to east, south or west of India. It was only localized war in the Central India only, and these were very limited area. This was very limited area. You see the states of Rajputana, Sindh, Bengal, Punjab, Hyderabad, Mysore, they were all sleeping or aiding the Britishers and fighting against their own Indian men. They knew that this war is never going to end in their favor, so they were allying with British. So this was the major reason. If you see on this map, these red and blue portion are those who are allying with the British, and the red portion are those who were supporting militarily with the British. So this was the major reason that the Indian rebellions lost the war. Loyalty of natives to British, we have discussed it, that many Indian leaders were supporting British. You see in Hyderabad, Patiala, Udaipur, Jaipur, Gwalior, and also in the Nizam and Sindhia, they were all the leaders, all the Nawabs and all the Maharajas were with the Britishers. Six fought bravely for British everywhere, and they were the key factor. They actually, it was six who won this war for British, because British had told them that if you don't fight this war, the Muslim empire recreated or restored by Badr Shah Zafar, they will kill you all the six. So this was the reason that war of independence could not spread to whole of India, and six were fighting against Hindus and Muslims in this war, who were fighting for the independence. Even troops at Lahore, Multan and Peshawar were disarmed and their guns were taken back, so they cannot make some mutiny like that in Meerut or Barakpur. Britishers played very well the communal card. They told Sikhs that Muslims, if Badr Shah Zafar restores his Muslim empire, he will destroy all the Sikhs, and Sikhs accepted this idea and they fought bravely for British in this war. This was a major blow to the cause of war of independence. Also, there was premature ignition of war. It is said that the war was to be started on 31st of May, but it ignited prematurely due to the Meerut incident. Therefore, all the leaders and their fighters were not that ready for that war on 9th of May. Sorry. So premature ignition of war was another major factor of failure. Lack of resources, weapon, and lack of trained troops. This is another reason. British troops, though numerically superior, they were very inferior numerically, but they were superior to sepoys and irregular recruits and volunteer troops who were fighting from the side of rebellions. They were professional soldiers and they were well equipped. They had modern cannons and modern rifles at that time, whereas the Indian people were fighting with them with volunteer and irregular recruits, and they were fighting only with talwars and bhalas. And so talwars and bhalas cannot fight cannons and modern guns of that time. So this was another reason. We have also seen that there were very professionals, general officers of the British Army fighting the irregular recruits. So the result was understood that it had to be a bad failure. Another reason of failure is that the war was limited to only big cities like Delhi, Kanpur, Lucknow, Meerut, Jhansi, and all other major cities were not involved. Villages were not involved. Peasants and common man was not involved. So this was another causes of failure. There was no international support because I told you, we have already discussed that the leadership who was activated at that time was of only local level, local community based leadership, which rose to the stage at that time. There was no leader of national level who could gather some more internal and external support from abroad. So there was lack of international support, and they were limited and they were isolated from the rest of India and even the rest of world. They were isolated, and the wars cannot be won if you are so much isolation. In so much isolation. So another is lack of public support. The common man of India did not side with the rebellions because they wanted law and order in the country, and Britishers were fighting for the law and order in the country, and rebellions did something which were very nefarious, and they created a sort of anarchy in which common people lost their homes and lost their property because there were a lot of criminals activated at that time. So common people was siding with British and praying that the rebellion is crushed. So this was another cause of failure, and the major cause of failure, that the common people and peasants and farmers did not stand with the rebellions. So these are the major factors which you can say for the failure of this revolt. I hope this has helped you. Until next lecture, take care. Allah Hafiz.